Hello, I'm Nicola. I'm from Cape Town, and I'm really grateful that you've asked for a reading. So thank you very much. As you know, I'm a little bit of a newbie. I'm trying this out, and so I've taken some inspiration here from Instagram in terms of a spread layout, and then I've just made it my own. So in the first position, we're going to look at what was the summary of 2019. Then we're going to go and look at what lessons you learned in 2019. What was the main thing that you learned? Then we're going to look at what you can leave behind you. Definitely important to know what we can let go of for 2019. And then what can we take with us? What's the best thing to be taking with us into 2020? And then what is the main energy for 2020? And where can you find strength? What can you draw on to keep going in 2020? And then ultimately, let's see what 2020 will bring you. So thank you again so much. I'm gonna go ahead and shuffle these cards. As you can see, I'm still learning. But the main thing to ask is angels, spirits, guides, ancestors, what can you help us with? What can we learn from 2019 and what can we expect for 2020? Please let us know. Okay, well there's the first card. Ace of Swords. Okay. Right, let's see. Angels, spirits, and guides, please give us the best guidance here. What did 2019 teach you? The Magician. What can you leave behind you? That's the King of Pentacles. What can you take with you into 2020? Ace of Cups. What is the main energy for 2020? Knight of Pentacles. Where can you find strength in 2020? Four of Pentacles. And what will 2020 bring you? Okay, so let's get into this. So, summary of 2019. We have the Ace of Swords here. And this is for the summary of 2019. What this denotes is that you had a really big challenge. There was a lot that you dealt with this year. You really fought hard for yourself. There's a sword here, and there's an olive branch on this side and a palm branch on this side, and that stands for peace and victory. So that's really good. You've attained some peace after the struggle that you've had to deal with this year. You learned a big lesson. Illusions have been uncloaked. You saw something. You saw something that you didn't see before, and you've really seen the thing that you needed to see this year in 2019. There's a blue symbolism here, and what's so interesting is when I was laying out my stones, I wanted to go for a blue-green theme, so I think that's a really good summary of 2019. The message is to ground. This is what I picked up. You've had a lot to deal with in 2019. You got through it. You really did. You survived. You survived this difficult time, and the message here is to ground yourself. Maybe you can relate to that for your 2019. In terms of what you've learned here, it could be mental, emotional, or spiritual death. So you might have really woken up to something. You could have let go of some big attachments this year. What I've felt as well is that you've done this alone. You've done this alone. You fought this challenge yourself. You fought hard for yourself this year, and that's amazing. I feel that as well. it's a sign of positive change. Positive change. You've done the hard work. It denotes power of mind. It can speak of any conflicts and struggles that you've had. So I guess 2019 was a tricky year for a lot of people. So then we go here to what did 29 teach you? Now this is the Magician card. And what this speaks of is opportunity, new ventures. I feel like what happened is that you realize that you've actually got a lot of options. So the Magician is here standing at his table with a cup, a sword, a wand, and a pentacle. This shows that he's got everything he needs to pull off this magic. And I think that's what maybe something people can relate to, is that you realize that you actually have got a lot more at your disposal than you thought you did. But you know, maybe that's what the benefit of hindsight and looking over your year can do. You're a very special person. Like you've got many talents. You really do. You've got lots of talents and abilities. You've worked really hard. Here even it links up. These two cards are next to each other. I think as well you've realized your value and potential, which also makes sense. I think if 2019 has taught you anything, you realize that you are high value and you can bring about what you want in your life to reality. It can also sort of mean that you've had some awareness, you brought awareness to your body. Maybe your lungs, breathing, body awareness. Maybe you took a meditation this year, or you just started connecting more with your breath. That really makes you realize these tools that he has, you know, there's other tools, spiritual tools, meditation, yoga, eating well, reflecting. So you've got many options to guide you forward in life, and definitely in terms of what 2019 might have taught you. This is a card of self-love. Did you learn how to take care of yourself this year? Did you learn more about that, maybe? I hope so. Okay, what can you leave behind you? This is the King of Pentacles, and I gotta admit I was a little bit stuck here trying to figure out what this meant, because the King of Pentacles is a very happy guy. Like, check him out. He's on his throne, he's got a fancy robe, there's flippin' grapes all around him, he's got his pentacles. So I was like a bit stuck about what it is that we want to leave behind us in terms of this card, but I figured it out. I think what this guy is saying to us in this space is that there's been a little bit too much of a heavy focus on ambition, status, the desire to be admired socially, and a lot of material riches and wealth and attainment. He can mean that, like, he's a very extravagant guy. He's very status hungry. He wants to be admired, and that can sometimes make him a little bit stubborn. He can be a little bit stubborn, a little bit greedy, a bit materialistic, and that can cloud his vision. But mostly from a material perspective. I think more so this is something that speaks about accepting that you do deserve good. Leave behind the fear of having all of your dreams achieved could bring you. A lot of people are afraid to achieve their dreams, and because of whatever status comes with it, I think you need to leave that behind you. If you don't take risks, you'll never find out. Don't be afraid of that wealth. Don't believe that you can have the life that you deserve. Don't be afraid to take risks. Maybe drop a little bit of jealousy. If you can notice that jealousy's cropped up somewhere, you can definitely leave jealousy in 2019 for sure. And any closed-mindedness, I think that's an important one. This guy's got this far, but his options might be a little bit, his vision might be a little bit closed. So what you can leave behind you is the fear of succeeding. Trust yourself. Trust your intuition. That's the main thing here. Okay, what can you take with you into 2020? Ace of Cups. Now the Ace of Cups is a lot to do with feelings, emotions, can be relationships. So what to take with you into 2020? It can also mean heightened awareness, and I think that's a very good message to take with you into 2020, is this idea that you're more connected with your feelings. Maybe through this like really crazy struggle that you've been through and all these major realizations that you've had, you're at the point now that you've really learned a lot more about yourself. You're much more in tune with your emotions. And that's a good thing. That's what troubling times bring us, is a closer connection to our feelings and understanding what we want to do from our hearts instead of being pushed and prodded and attacked and pulled and whatever. This journey that you've been on has definitely brought you a heightened awareness. And hopefully with a feeling of abundance. I hope you can realize that you've achieved some major emotional growth. This is a new beginning. This is a fresh start. So it's absolutely perfect that it's sitting right here. What can you take with you into 2020? Let this go. This was tough. You realize that you're amazing. Hopefully, don't worry about the fear of success and just have a fresh start. I think that's pretty typical January energy anyway. And obviously starting a new year and a new decade. I mean, that's amazing that it's there. Also, it's a case of gratitude when you're considering your feelings. It's about gratitude and feeling good and appreciating your loving relationships. Focus on the positive. That's definitely a good thing to be doing into 2020, is focus on what you're grateful for. Focus on everything that you did learn. Don't even worry about the bad stuff. This is also a case of overflowing with love and creativity. Look at the cup here. The cup is overflowing with love and creativity, self-expression, productivity. That's a nice one. Productivity is really cool. That's a word that I'm hearing for 2020. And foundation, I think, you've now gone through this emotional crisis. You've learned things about yourself. It's time to build a good foundation, which is another word that I have kept hearing throughout this reading. Right, what is the main energy for 2020? Here we have the Knight of Pentacles. And what this guy denotes is determination, ambition. He's very hardworking. He's patient. He's kind of a little bit more conventional. And when I was reading this card, I got a little bit annoyed because I don't like following the rules, but I can totally appreciate the relevance and the benefit of being more organized, having a clearer focus in my life, being clear on your goals, being a lot more focused about your next moves, really taking the steps to build a good foundation, being perseverant, and really focusing on attention to detail. That's an important part of this. If you're building anything in 2020, you're creating something new, attention to detail, steady and purposeful progress. Slowly catchy monkey, right? So that's kind of what our main energy is for 2020, and I feel it. I think, if you're busy building anything or whatever's happening in your life, doing things methodically and taking a slow and the kind of approach that will lead you to the step by step. That's really what this is about. And I think that's great. What a great way to set up a foundation for 2020. Okay, where can you find your strength in 2020? Well, this is fantastic. I was also a little bit kind of concerned about this card because this is linked to the miser. And I mean, you can see this guy's like clutching onto that pentacle for dear life. He's terrified. He's terrified that someone's going to steal it away from him. And here we have the King of Pentacles right up here. He's got all the stuff as well, but he can be a little bit, slow to the uptake. So I think there's a really strong energy here about letting go of your fears. Let go. Let go of your fear of success and abundance, and let go of your fear of not sharing. This is an important one to help us remember to connect with others. Don't worry about, don't be afraid to do this on your own. Don't be afraid that you're going to lose something. Drop your anxiety and suspicion and find the source of fear and let it flow. And it could be that you're afraid of success. It could be that you're afraid of the acclaim that will come from this, but that just doesn't make any sense. You got to stick to your guns, let it go, let it flow. So if you're struggling at all in 2020, focus on a foundation. Here's a strong foundation that you're going to be building, and let it go. Don't worry about it. Share your goodness. You can only receive if you share. Sharing and receiving and giving are all part of the same loop, so don't worry. Share your journey. Okay, and then what will 2020 bring you? This is the Temperance card, and I mean, she looks like she's having a pretty dope time there. Rainbow, butterfly wings, rainbows, really, really good time going on there, so that's good to know. And in terms of what will Temperance bring you? So, you've got to get the right balance of all these different energies and connect the old version of yourself to the new version of yourself, or the new version of your life, the new version of your thoughts, your new version of self-love. It's connecting the old version of yourself with the new version of yourself, and it's also all about teamwork and sharing. Working together. This is about being good for everybody. The movement from old to new. So I think if you let go of this hard, tough time and really focus on what you've learned this year, you'll find that 2020 is going to bring you a lot more sharing and collaboration. Working together with other people for the greater good. So not just being the solo scary dude who's afraid of everyone stealing his pentacles. This card is all about collaboration and cooperation. Sharing your feelings, let it go, let it flow. I hope that helps you with your 2020. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this reading. This is my first ever video that I've ever filmed doing this, so I really hope you can forgive any shittiness that has happened that I'm totally unaware of, but I decided to just go with it. And I wish you that in general for 2020. Just go for it. Do whatever you want and be happy when you're doing it, and your energy will come across and people will love you and you won't need to worry about anything. So have a great 2020. Bye!